Hi everybody, so today I thought we could have some fun playing in my sketchbook, drawing and painting this ballerina. I had drawn this one the other day and I really had a lot of fun, and I thought this would be kind of a good way to get inspired to start this new spread that I've got. And you can obviously see that I already started drawing our little ballerina friend here. And I just decided, why don't I turn on the camera? We can finish sketching her together and we can paint her together and just have some sketching fun together. I thought I wanted to try a different type of video too, to see if you guys liked more of these sketch with me type shorter videos maybe. I actually don't know how short this one will be because I'm not sure how much I'm going to be doing voiceover and speeding up the drawing and how much I'm going to be talking. So we're just gonna see how it goes. We're gonna play around. I'm at the library today, so I have a nice quiet, distraction-free, windowless room. Somehow I chose the one room that doesn't have a window, and I don't know how I did that. Like the only study room. So I've got a reference picture that is just over here off screen, but I'm gonna put it right here so you can see it. My inspiration is this art doll. She's really beautiful. She's got like porcelain type skin or something. And when I use a reference photo, especially one like this that's already got so much of like another artist in it, I mean, it depends, but usually I won't take like too much inspiration. Like I won't try and keep it too literal, because you know I want it to be fresh. I want it to be mine at the same time. So I'll pick out kind of my favorite things. And you know, I love her really intricate dress. I don't draw super intricate, if I'm being honest. So we'll see how intricate mine ends up being. You can also see she's already got a little bit of a different angle to her. You can kind of see the body I drew underneath the, what do you call it, like tutu? Her dress, you can see it. She has more of a bend than the art doll, but I think that's all right. And, you know, we're just going, I like this little crown thing. She's got like these beads or a tiara or something coming off of her hair, and it's so funny. I drew something just like that the other day. Actually, let me try and see. I'm not sure it'll pick up. Maybe it will. When I drew this character, you can see she's got something very similar, which is so funny because, I don't know, it's just a coincidence. That character I just showed you, she reminds me of peppermint bark. And I think that she'd be great for Christmas, but too bad it is the end of June. So yeah, as I've been playing around with this character, there's a couple things I'm not sure on how I want to incorporate. I like that bit of tulle she's got at the bottom, so I do think I want to add that. It's a little different from like a lot of my other drawings, but sometimes what I feel like I find myself doing is wanting all my drawings to match, and it limits me from experimenting. Like I want it to all look good together. I have this weird thing, and if I have it, I know other people have it, where I want like everything to be matched. Like I like series. I like, so, let me think. For example, if I had some dolls and I had Barbie dolls, I'd want them to all be Barbie. I wouldn't really want a mixture of Bratz, some Barbie, some random off-brand thing. Like I'd want them all, and it doesn't have to be Barbie. They could all be the off-brand, or they could all be Bratz, but I just would want them all to be the same. I just like it when things are kind of like they have a formula to them. I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's kind of like the same base, and then they all have their own individual personalities. And I think that really comes through with my drawings, because like they all kind of have the same string bean type body shape, but then they end up having such different personalities because of, you know, their outfits and their hair and the colors that I do them in. You might have noticed that our camera angle changed a little bit, and that's because when I'm drawing, I'm having a hard time keeping this from going out of focus. So hopefully it'll be in focus enough and I don't have to scrap this entire video. Or if anything, maybe if it's not perfect, you'll just enjoy having a drawing buddy today. That's something I like to do. I always turn on other artists like YouTube videos when I'm doing my own projects, especially because sometimes I just like get bored sitting there with my own thoughts. Like I want somebody there with me, but I don't actually want to socialize, you know. My favorite person to watch right now is Lindsay from The Frugal Crafter. Oh my gosh, guys, I just like love this woman's videos so much. like I don't know, I see a lot of my own personality in her. And she's fun and relatable, and you know, she's just like living her life up in Maine, having a good time making art, and that seems pretty nice to me. So one thing I was saying before I kind of took a pause and got myself all confused here, is that, okay, well, first of all, I don't know what I'm doing with her hair. That doesn't look that good. I want it to just be kind of like a curly mound of hair, but my goodness, that's not it. Okay, we're gonna retrace a bit. But what I was saying is that there's a couple of things I don't know how I want to incorporate, and in the reference you can see that she's got like these armbands, like they almost look like little tutus for your arms, and I think that they're really cute and they work really well on the art doll, but I'm really not sure how well they're gonna work for me here because the art doll actually has a neck, and for whatever reason I am against drawing necks, I guess. I have no idea. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm trying to help my camera here. I just filmed this on my phone because as an artist, do you really think that I have the budget to go out and get a big camera? No sir. Nope, I'm working with what I got here. Okay, let's think about this here. What am I even doing? I can't decide. Okay, we're just gonna do something wiggly and beautiful and effortless. Okay, I think this one's better. She has kind of like more of a 50s do than I would have wanted, but I can live with it. I can keep moving. Add that tiara back in. Oh, before when I was looking at reference images, I was like, you know, kind of looking at dancers, and I've been really into some vintage photos, like 1920s type vintage. But I saw this picture of Vera Ellen doing some sort of dancing, and I almost did that because I love Vera Ellen. I just want to be here every time I watch White Christmas, which is literally the only thing I know about Vera Ellen. I am just like enamored by her, and like I part of why I cut my hair was so that I could feel like Vera Ellen in White Christmas. I'm gonna add a little ribbon here. That is like one of my go-tos on any top, pants, dress. You'll notice I always add this like hemline, and I just feel like it tidies it up a little bit. Okay, I'm really glad I added that. What would you call that? Like crinoline, tutu-y type stuff at the bottom. And then I thought this top was kind of pretty, how it arches there. Okay, so the sketch is just about there. It's kind of messy if I'm being honest, but that's okay. Sometimes sketching is messy, right? Like we don't always make perfect art, you know, like I've heard people say like you're only as good as like your worst drawing, and I think that's an absolutely horrible statement because like there are just some days I don't make good art or my wrists don't work the way I want them to. So you know, is it going to be a masterpiece? No. Does it need to be? No. Okay, I do want something on her wrist. Maybe something like down here. I'm thinking maybe I could do some little ribbons like that to kind of match the bows she's got here. We'll see. If I don't like it, I'll never draw it again. And if I do, I learned something, right? That's what I say to talk myself through it. And with her like arm bows, I guess. I don't know what else to call them. Her little wrist ribbons. That's better. I've been drawing these on like a lot of my characters' ankles lately. It's just little ribbons. I think they're cute, especially when I do my fairies. I really like that. Okay, so you know what we need? We need detail. This looks like a pancake right now. So I don't know how much I really want to follow the reference here. I just don't love that. So I don't think I'm gonna look at my reference anymore. I'm closing my iPad and I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Add some little hemlines here. I do like to do a lot of patterns, especially like fun, whimsical ones, and we've got a lot going on. So I'm not sure. Maybe I need to take a pause, look at it, and think for a second. Okay, so I spent some time looking at our sketch here. I looked at some of my other sketches, and what I realized the problem I was running into is that a lot of the patterns I do kind of have like a 60s or a 50s or 70s retro feel. And she doesn't have that feel. She's like got this very frilly, girly feel. She's got the curliness of the hair. This kind of has like a star pattern. She's got the frilliness here. She's got bows. She's got all sorts of stuff going on. And I just felt like all of my patterns were a little too graphic, and everything I wanted to add to her just it didn't make sense. So what I decided I'm going to try to do is I like the circular pattern here, and it's going to look weird in the sketch, but I'm hoping it all comes together in the final painting. If not, we can have some fun laughing at how I failed to make this kind of look the way we wanted. But what I thought I would do is I was going to add all these little different size circles and kind of mimic some beading type stuff and put them all close together. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. Get you a little more centered there. And I'm just going to dive in with some paint. Before I do that, I'm going to go in with my cute little eraser here. And why do you think these are pink? Does anybody know the answer to that? Maybe I should look that up. I've never thought about that until this second. You'll notice our camera's going to shake because it's mounted to the table. And of course, we're erasing, but look away if you get motion sick. Yeah, why are these pink? Okay, this is something for me to look up and leave in the comments or in the description. Hopefully I remember. This is a sketchbook, so it doesn't have to be like perfectly erased, and we're gonna go over it with pen and watercolor. But especially when you're drawing with colored pencils, if you don't erase it, like when you go in with the pen, I think it's just because of the wax or something in there, it has a really hard time sticking. And that is not a battle I want to deal with today. So I'm not sure what I'm thinking for her colors either. I know I want some really nice, cool blue in there. Maybe something kind of light. Why don't we start with that? Maybe we could do all blue. Oh, that could be pretty. I like that idea. Okay, we're doing that. We're just going to use blue. So I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with her skin. And I want her hair to be darker and her dress to be lighter. So I need a mid-tone for the skin. And you know what? Even though I literally just said we're doing all blue, I think I'm going to add some magenta for her cheeks, for her nose. I always like to add a little pink to their fingertips, which when I first do it, guys, it literally looks like their hands are bleeding. But I think that little pop of color would be kind of cute. And I've actually been wanting to try a like single color watercolor illustration for a little while. So, you know, it's funny. All I do on my channel here is watercolors. And honestly, I've been doing so many watercolors just in my life lately. And this is new as of like February. I'm gonna get that little drop of water because that's just asking for a disaster. Yeah, I went on this trip in February and I brought my watercolor palette and my sketchbook with me because I was like, well, I'm gonna be there for a week and there's not gonna be a lot of time to work on stuff, right? Like we were out of the country. We were in Slovenia. It was amazing and beautiful and a little chilly, but amazing and beautiful. And yeah, so I was like, I need to have some art supplies. Even if I don't use it, I need to know that, like, if I really get inspired to create, I have the stuff for it. Because I swear, if you bring it, then you don't use it. And if you don't bring it, then you wish you had. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to bring much. I'm just going to bring a little something. That way, I like, you know, I can lug it around. It's not heavy. It'll all fit in my carry-on. And, you know, if I get really nervous on the plane, or if I have time in the morning, or find ourselves at a cafe, I can sketch. Because, like, you know, I'm not really one to, like, sketch from life. Like, I'm not going to sketch a landscape. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's just not me. I'm painting these string bean looking people, you know what I mean? And so I brought it, and I don't know if it's just because you know, when I travel, it's funny. It's like a weird type of thing. I think I just like being home. I like being settled. And so when I travel, it's like I have to sometimes distract myself and remind myself, like, everything's good, you know, we don't need to worry, or like, I just sometimes kind of tell myself, like, you know, I just want to be home. And so this I found was so nice, because when I'd wake up in the morning and maybe I felt that way, I had my sketchbook to kind of get sucked into, and it made me feel really comforted knowing, like, I had one of my comforts of home. Like, I don't know if the way I've explained that really makes all that much sense, but I really bonded with my sketchbook, because I was really hot and cold with using it. Like, sometimes I would use it for a long periods of time, and then I wouldn't touch it for months. And that's how I can be with a lot of things. Like, that's how I am with reading. Oh, which I just started a new book. It's called My Name is Resolute. And so far, I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited. I just started it last night, but we'll see how it comes out. Anyhow, so I had used my sketchbook, I think, before this trip in February. I'd used it to do some Inktober drawings, because last year I did Inktober. I did it my way. I did it digital. I didn't use ink. But I used it to plan out my drawings. And then I hadn't touched it since. And I realized it was very rare that I was using my sketchbook just for fun or for inspirational type stuff. I was always using it to plan out a drawing. So you can see her hands kind of look like bloody. But we're going to work on that. And it's going to dry lighter. So don't worry. I'm not panicked. Maybe a little. I'm not. And anyhow, so I had so much fun, and I felt like I had so many ideas while we were on this trip that I decided, you know, I'm going to make it like a discipline to sketch every day for just like 10 minutes at least, to make it a habit to kind of do it while I'm watching TV, while I'm waiting, when I just have like that extra time that I don't know what to do with. Like, if I'm going to watch YouTube, I'd like to draw while I watch YouTube. Like, I don't want to just sit around all day, you know? I mean, like, when I'm done with my work. And it's hard, too, because, like, I have a part-time job, but my work literally is art. And so it's like, you know, should you do art when you're done with your art? Like, it's tricky. But it, you know, if it's kind of more about pressure than like the actual activity. If I feel like, you know, I'm stressed out in something I'm doing, like, you know, I'm doing a commission piece, and I have to be precise about things. Like, I can't really mess up, you know, or, let's say I'm working on a story, and I just am not really loving the page I'm working on. I'm feeling a little burnt out from it. Then I need a break, but to me, it is a break to still do art if I can just draw exactly what I want. If I can have lots of fun with, you know, the characters. I can do kind of like that guilty pleasure type stuff. And this is by no means complaining about the stuff I'm working on, because I'm literally, guys, I'm so grateful for every blessing God gives me with, you know, a commission or a story idea or some inspiration, or like I just, you know, I keep trying and I keep going. But I think we all understand that it's different when you're off the clock and you can just do exactly what you want. You can take your time. You don't have any of those outside pressures. I don't feel the need sometimes, like when I'm just doing my after work art, I don't feel the need to record it or make a TikTok. Like sometimes I'll do an Instagram story just because if I like it, I want to share it, and I like recording it. But I think it's really good to have moments where you are just doing your art. You are just like in the zone. You're just doing it for inspiration. And that's one thing I had to come to realize when I got into my watercolors, is that I kept trying to find ways to monetize it. Like I was like, okay, how can I make prints? Because I got really bonded to some of the originals I did. I was like, but I have to sell it. If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna spend the time doing it, then I have to sell it. But like, I don't know, I think so much is lost when we focus more on the selling than the art making. And so I was like, you know what, no, I'm just gonna leave my watercolors for now to be a thing for me to just enjoy. I'm gonna use it to get inspired for other projects. You know, like so many times I'm drawn something and it sparks a new idea, which leads to a story, or it leads to a sculpting thing that I can put on my Etsy shop, or helps me make content that I can share like here or on TikTok and show my art to other people. And so there's so much to be gained for it. And what's funny too is that because I've started doing this, I've actually been able to get like some commission pieces. Like because I started focusing more on, see, that's almost right. It's kind of a risk. We're gonna go for it. Because I started spending more time just simply making art, and sharing my art. Some people saw it and they wanted to commission me. Like I did a tattoo a couple months ago, and that still knocks my socks off. Okay, obviously I did not do the tattoo. I did not hold a tattoo machine. What I did do is I designed it for them. Like they had a concept and I drew it and we did it that way. And it's like I feel like even still, I did this back in like April. I feel like even still I could cry a little, and that was okay. That simple was allergies. Okay, maybe I'm lying. Maybe it was a tear. Anyhow, it really was allergies. I'm struggling with some of those seasonal allergies right now. But I feel like I could cry because it was just so amazing to me that somebody liked my artwork so much that they not only just wanted to support me, which if you're an artist too, when somebody gets excited about your art and wants to support you, that is one of the coolest things ever. Because it just feels like so often as artists we're doing what we care about and what makes our heart sing, and then it kind of feels like we're throwing it into the void and nobody cares. And I don't really blame other people. Like my art is not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to find it interesting. So when you do find that one person who just like sees what you are doing and appreciates it, like that is just one of the best feelings. And so anyhow, like with this tattoo, it was crazy to me that not only did somebody like my art enough to pay for it, honestly, but that they also liked it so much that they decided to have it on their body for the rest of their life. Like that is like probably one of the coolest things that I'll ever do. So I was just so grateful for that opportunity. But yeah, if you find yourself, I'm using the wrong colors here, guys. I meant to use magenta and I got like a red. It's fine. They're really similar, but I'm not happy with my mistake. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're moving on with life. But I'm gonna wait to do the other cheek till the hair dries. Yeah, it's just amazing how when you kind of dedicate yourself a little more to just allowing yourself to create instead of forcing yourself to sell all the time, it's amazing how much you can actually really grow as an artist and how just more fun it makes it. Like that's the other thing. I've had so much fun doing these watercolors and and sharing them and just having fun, kind of living in my own world. I kind of like to escape into my sketchbook, which is something I used to never do, but as of recently I've found it very nice. Like when I'm maybe even just bored or I'm feeling overwhelmed, I find it so therapeutic or calming, I think is a better way to put it, to just run into my sketchbook, and because I can just live in my own happy little world for a minute, you know, like I get sucked in to the details. And honestly, I think that the fact that this sketchbook is really small, I think it's like less than 5 inches by 5 inches. I think that the fact that it's so small actually really helps me too, because there's kind of like a tediousness to the drawing where you have to be focused in on those little details, and that's something that I really enjoy. As we're doing the slippers here, that is one of those little details where I feel like I'm on the verge of messing it up, but like I said, maybe we can watch me mess up together and chuckle a little bit. But we'll need to let this dry for a second here, coming up, I think. That way I just don't worry about any of the bleeding. And the nice thing is that since I decided to do this all in one color, that I don't have to worry about like making mud. But of course I want my colors to be crisp. It's almost like good and bad doing this one color thing, because on one hand you want there to be good contrast, so you need things to be crisp. On the hand, like I said, you can't really make mud that easy, so we'll see how it all turns out. If it's ugly, like I said, I will literally just never do it again, and we'll pretend like this never happened, and you can bear as my witness to never let me paint another blue ballerina again. But I don't think that will happen. Actually, what would be cool though, if it does turn out nice, is to do a little series of them in different colors. Series, I love a series, and I don't paint a lot of series. One thing I talked about doing recently, I don't know if you saw one of my recent videos where I painted this pig it was one of my childhood stuffed animals named Sleeping Pig, and I painted her, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be so cool to do a whole series of my stuffed animals? Like, you know, my treasured ones, my favorites, the ones that feel really nostalgic. And some of you guys like that idea too, so it's something I kind of have in my back pocket, which I did one and then haven't done another one since, which is so me, to have these great ideas and then just kind of like get more ideas and then keep going. And I don't know, it's like you have these ideas and then you wake up the next day and you have a different idea. And if you're kind of impatient like I am, you don't want to wait to do that. You know, you just kind of trail yourself along. It's like I feel like I'm a rabbit, and like I'm two people. I'm a rabbit, and then I'm also holding a fishing rod with a carrot on the end, and I'm like chasing myself down the hall with the carrot, and the carrot is like some new weird idea I have. I don't know. Do you get what I mean? I'm not the carrot. The new ideas are the carrot, and I'm kind of baiting myself as I go down the hall. Okay, so what I want to do, well, first of all, what I want to do is I want to clean up some of these lines because they are a little messy. But what I want to do is I want to let this dry for a second, because I want, for the tulle that's on the bottom of her dress here, I want to do that same really light blue, but because I did that kind of ribbon at the hem, I think that wouldn't be very smart to go in and do that right now, because it's just going to bleed. And then I think I'm going to leave her little beads on her tiara. I'll either do those light blue, and then the little beads on her dress I'll leave white, kind of like the pearl. So I'm gonna just pause. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna let it dry. Come back, we'll finish this, and then we can do some line art together. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, and I think, yep, we are dry. As I was looking at this, I thought that these bows could use a little tidying up. Sometimes I think I leave too much work up to the line art to clean it up, and I think it would look even better if I was trying to be a little more careful with my actual painting, but I think that should work. I'm just gonna do something really light. Like I said, for that tulle, I want there to be some contrast, so I'm really watering it down. We'll see what we get. I think that should be all right. It's funny, her skin, I'm using whatever the cool blue is in my watercolor palette. I don't know which one it is, especially with the blues. I find it so hard to remember what each one is, like cobalt, ultramarine, French ultramarine, phthalo. Like, guys, I don't know what that is. I could probably try and learn more, but I have no idea. Okay, now what are we thinking? Should I leave these pearls or should I make them dark? I'm gonna leave them. Maybe I'll do a couple dark, but I want there to be variety. Oh, what I was saying is that this looks like a different blue than the rest of the blue, but maybe there's just some like dirt on it. I don't know. I'm not the best when it comes to keeping my colors pure. Like, I will totally just add green to my yellow without any hesitation, time and time again. You know, I'm not careful like that because I can't be bothered. That's the truth. I cannot be bothered. Okay, I'm not minding this, especially these little ones I like, because those were going to be hard to get to stand out. Yeah. Okay, it's almost like she's also giving Christmas vibes. Why am I wanting Christmas so bad on late June? Maybe because I love Christmas. I was actually excited the other day. As I'm filming this, it's June 30th. And as I was filming, the other day it was obviously July 20th. Why can't I get I want to say it's July. It was June 25th, and I was pretty excited because that meant 6 months till Christmas. And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of get sad in December because it's like Christmas hasn't happened yet, but you know it's over soon. And then like, what do you have to look forward to in January? Not that much. But then it's also kind of relieving when Christmas is over because there's like all of this stuff going on and all this excitement, and it just feels nice to not worry about it. I don't know where I'm happy, but like, I think I like Christmas Eve more than I like actual Christmas Day, because Christmas Eve there's still so much fun and festivities, but the actual like best day hasn't come yet, anyhow. I'm gonna once again pause, let those dry, and then we'll go in with our pens. I have a couple different options for my pens here. I have a white gel pen, which I'll use for her nose. I always like to add a little shine to their noses, but also to freshen up some of like the tiara stuff. And actually, you know what? One more thing I'm gonna do as I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna go into some of our really watered down blue, and I am gonna add some color to this tiara because I think I want it. But yeah, I'll use that white pen to just clean up some little things. Yeah, okay. I'm happier with that. And pretty much I just use it for their little nose highlights. And then I've got a few different pens. So again, I'm sorry that the lighting's bad in here, but hopefully I'll get it to be a bit brighter in the editing. But I've got my Micron Pigma 003 in the color black. And this one is kind of a pain because it's so small that it gets like clogged or dry really quick, but I do like it when I need to do their faces. Take some of that like scariness away, and I might use it to outline some of her like pearls and things like that. Then I've got my Micron PN, which is like the total opposite. This is also in black, and it's like thick. Okay, she's thick. And PN stands for plastic nib, I think. I always thought that's what it stood for. I don't know what else it would stand for. Like, pretty neat. Micron, pretty neat. And this one's nice, except for the fact that sometimes it's too big. And sorry, I just picked at that dry piece of skin. Nobody wanted to see that. And now I've called attention to it. Oh no. Okay. But sometimes it's too thick, and especially with like a more small, delicate drawing like this, it can kind of like crowd the drawing and you lose a lot of that just delicate detail. And then I've been playing around with this pen. This is the this is the Uniball Vision Micro Pen. And it's black, it's waterproof, it's fade proof. And all in all, I like it, but I liked it more when I first tried it. I'm not so sure now. Nobody can see that. I know that the focus is not the best, but I don't know. I like that it comes to a point, you know. Let me try and get it to focus here. I think my drawing wants to steal the show. I mean, you can get a general idea. I don't know why it won't focus there, but I like that it comes to a point, but I also find it difficult to do what I want. I don't know, there's like a control thing there. And then I also have these fine liners that are all in different colors. Like I've got this black one that's they're all 0.4, and I've played around with that. But this one isn't it's not like the blackest black, which I don't like. But I might pull out this blue if I want to use it for any little details on her dress. I'm not sure yet. But those are my pens. I feel like with all of them, except for the Jelly Roll, I mean, this is just a classic. You can't go wrong with the white Jelly Roll pen. But with these ones, I don't know. I just feel like I'm searching for something I haven't found yet. So let me know if you have a pen that you swear by, like just a black pen that you can get different line with, but also get like detail. Please tell me. I need help. I'm asking. Just please help. So this is almost dry, but I'm gonna give it just a couple more minutes. We'll come back, we'll do the line work, and we'll just review what we've done today. Okay, so we're dry. We're ready to go. And I think I fixed the focusing issue, so I probably didn't. But we're just gonna go for it. So I think to start, I'm gonna go in with my really tiny pen and try and use it for her face. I do really like this for doing the eyes, especially because like the eyebrows, they kind of get lost and tucked up in there. So her face is kind of a weird shape, isn't it? Anyhow, she's definitely giving that JoJo Circus character vibe. And then while I've got this out, let's see, I'm gonna try and see how I like this. Do I want to use my blue? You know what, let's do the blue. Only because I'm not feeling super bonded to this illustration right now. Oh, I kind of regret that, whatever. I'm not feeling super bonded to the illustration, and when that's the case, I think that's your opportunity to play instead of try and make it perfect, you know? Like, I get kind of bothered when there's a drawing on the page that I just don't really like. This is giving coral. It's giving under the water. Okay. But I get kind of bothered when there's like just a sketch or something that I don't really like. And this one I don't hate. So I don't think it'll bother me too bad. But when it feels like it's like the ugly duckling of the group and it takes away from all the other beautiful drawings that you like, that always bothers me a bit. And so I never want to like make something ugly and then just have this black scar on the page. But we're not really going to worry about that today. We're just going to go for it. And I do think I'm going to use we're going to give this another shot. Okay? The nose is always such a scary part. This part, okay, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's just sometimes, I'm actually glad that I'm filming this because I know that I get, like, I'll watch other people or I'll see other people's drawings and I'll kind of think like, you just get the wrong idea. You know, you think everybody's just full of creativity and so many ideas and they're always inspired and they never mess up. And it's like, clearly we know that that's not realistic. Yes, rationally we know not everybody's got it all figured out, but like, we don't see their mistakes, we only see our mistakes, and so it's super easy to just get disillusioned with reality, I guess. But So even though part of me is cringing at the fact that this sketch didn't turn out as beautiful as I would have wanted, I'm also glad that you can kind of see me fail a little. And maybe in your eyes this isn't a failure, so maybe I shouldn't even call it that. Because I feel like sometimes when somebody talks about their art and it's horrible and they hate it, and then you're looking at it and you go, oh, that's not bad at all. Like if they saw my art, they'd probably think it's even worse. And you see your own flaws. Like when you look in the mirror and then say you have like a blemish or something, you see it like so much more obvious than anybody else does. But it's hard to imagine like anybody not seeing it, right? And it's that same kind of thing where it's like with your art, you see immediately what's wrong with it, and like other people just see it as like, even if they just see it as fine, like it's probably a lot better than what you think. And so I don't know, I'm kind of like having a hard time talking while I'm doing the line art here. But basically what I'm getting at is, thank you for watching me fail. Thank you for watching me make something I don't like. We've been here before, actually. If you've seen my Alice in Wonderland video, I didn't like that one either. And it's so funny. I think maybe it has something to do with like, there's a different pressure when you're filming your artwork. And sometimes that pressure gets in your head. One thing I'll kind of talk about, though, I think the things that I don't like, because I can use it as a learning opportunity. But yeah, one of the things I don't like about this sketch is her face. Like, I feel like I like them to have really long faces, or not long, round, like much more circular. And this one has like a more ovular, oval, is that the word? Oval. You know what I mean. It's got more of an oval type shape, and I don't love that. I don't know why. But I wish her face was a little rounder. I just think it's usually cuter when the way I draw, like when their faces have that shape. And I don't know what that shoe is, talking of mistakes. That reminds me of those socks that you would wear like with I don't know, like Sperry's or something, like where they just cover your toes and your heel, and they basically never stay on. You know the ones, like, and they look super weird if you don't have shoes on. Like they're the kind of sock that if you went to somebody's house and they said, oh, could you take your shoes off, like you would also take off your socks, because the socks themselves are kind of like looking like they're uncomfortable. Nobody wants that. I have socks like that. I love toe socks. I swear, guys, my feet are always cold, and if your feet are always cold, get some toe socks. You will be so happy you did. People will stare at you in your toe socks, but let them, okay? Just let them. All right, I'm gonna unclip this from my clipboard here. I do love working on a clipboard. I just think it's nice to move around, and I like to bring it to the couch. Here is our final artwork. Tell me what you think. Tell me, if you like this type of video. If you want to see more draw with me, maybe I can do something a little more impressive next time. Tell me what you think about the monochromatic way I've done it, and our sketch here. If you've got a name for her, let's give her a name. But yeah, I thought this was kind of fun. Like I said, just let me know what you thought, and until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Alrighty, have a good day. Bye-bye.